It's the plumbing company preying on the elderly and the vulnerable. Metropolitan Plumbing has a long history of shoddy work and outrageous overcharging. We've exposed them time and time again, but they're still at it.
I can't believe they're still trading.
And neither can we.
We paid over $1,300 for him to come here, not do the job he was paid to do, and he left part of his equipment in our drain. I mean, who does that?
Metropolitan Plumbing does.
Why won't you answer our calls or our emails?
You might remember big old friendly plumbing boss David Ellingson. He runs Metropolitan, the plumbing company still up to its old tricks.
I think that they played me by quoting all these prices.
76-year-old Jocelyn McGrath thought she had a gas leak in her kitchen. She called the plumber with the biggest ad in the yellow pages, Metropolitan.
Well, he just didn't walk around the house or show any indication of the leak. He just said I had one.
Metropolitan didn't fix Jocelyn's so-called leak. Instead, they cut off the gas supply to her stovetop.
I've been living without gas since April. I'm using my microwave.
Metropolitan Plumbing came and went from Jocelyn's Melbourne home. No leak was found and no leak was fixed. But what was left was an elderly lady and no gas to heat her home or cook her food. In the days following, Jocelyn says Metropolitan Plumbing harassed her, calling and calling, demanding she pay up. So Jocelyn did, in full. Jocelyn says it cost her $8,700 for a plumber to cut off her gas supply.
No receipt, no invoice.
Annie Logan's account of Metropolitan Plumbing is just as bad. She claims they didn't fix the blockage in her sister's toilet, but they blocked it up with the very equipment they used to try to unblock it down the wrong pipe.
I can't believe they left their equipment in our drain. We used that to ferry people from my sister's house down to my place all day Christmas Day.
Just to use the toilet?
Just to use the toilet.
Annie and her sister live on a horse stud in Melbourne's southeast. It was Christmas Eve when her sister's toilet stopped flushing. Annie's house, a few metres away, couldn't accommodate 10 people for lunch, so they called a trusted name to fix the loo and save Christmas.
Rather than using Joe Blow's drain clearage with a name like Jim's Plumbing, they've got to do good work.
But Joe Blow's drain clearage might have rocked up anyway.
Turned out to be Metropolitan.
The sisters were charged a call-out fee, then an auditing and compliance fee, and on top of that, $1,190 for an attempt to clear the drain.
He explained to her that he had hydro-flushed.
All up, the sisters say they paid more than $1,300 to Metropolitan Plumbing.
And that had to be paid before he would leave the driveway.
All for a problem even Metropolitan wasn't sure it fixed. The invoice stating,
"We cannot guarantee that this will clear the blockage, and further work may be required."
Further work was required.
Next morning, my sister gets up, goes to the toilet, and it immediately floods again.
Ben, the sisters' trusted tradie, fixed the blockage for $330, and while he was at it, found this: a hydrojet water pressure hose stuck in the pipe.
He was scratching his head, and my sister and I just flabbergasted.
Metropolitan Plumbing's overcharging has been on a current affairs radar since our first report in September last year.
If you want to sleep at night, don't start the process with Metropolitan.
We uncovered a long list of different business names trading under ABNs connected to David Ellingson and Metropolitan. And we tracked down David.
Are you ripping off hard-working Australians?
But he didn't want to talk. Not in his car and not in his office. A current affairs coverage led to Product Review removing 3 awards it had given to Metropolitan and launching an investigation. The director at Product Review telling us,
I can't comment on the investigation as it's still ongoing and involves a government agency.
Our reporting also left lawn mowing mogul Jim Penman to come clean about his 18-year-long licensing agreement with Metropolitan.
We're actually pulling the plug.
And now they have.
We have completely severed ties with Metropolitan Plumbing. We have no connection with them whatsoever. We're relaunching as Jim's Plumbing, proper plumbing company. Quotes up front.
So while they relaunch, Jim's is also redoing. At the request of a current affair, Jim's Plumbing has fixed Metropolitan's mess at Jocelyn's house free of charge.
We've connected up the underground heating and the cooktop line, so it's all back to functioning order now.
Jim's plumbers told us there was no leak. Jocelyn just required a little help turning off the knob stuck on her stove. Jim serviced and cleaned her cooktop. What cost $8,700 should have cost just $300.
Other vulnerable people have to be careful that they don't get caught like this.
And to stop this happening to anybody else, Jim says, complain.
People are too passive. Sometimes they just accept the fact that they've been badly treated, and they shouldn't.
You let them get away with it, they're going to do it to someone else.